What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, okay, making their debut on the channel tonight, we have End of the Dream. Yes, indeed. How about that? End of the Dream making their debut on the channel. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi-bibbidi-bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Amaranthus, and Amaranthus wanted to see me react to the song by End of the Dream called Until You Break.
I must break you.
Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, yeah, I've heard this song before, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This was posted by End of the Dream, okay? And the video has 165,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. End of the Dream, Until You Break. Cool. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Show to me all of your hopes and your dreams, the deepest desire that's burning inside of your heart.
Nice, actually. I feel like I'm falling into a trap here. I'll explain what I mean by that. I like to give credit across the board to everybody equally. I really do. I like to give everybody their time to shine and put out everything that everybody's doing well. But I feel like I'm falling into a trap here where it's gonna be split in half. Half for the instrumentalists and the other half for the vocalist. It's not going to be even across the board, unfortunately. Musically, instrumentally, everybody sounds fine. Everybody sounds really good. I like everything I'm hearing from them. The guitars are nice and thick and crunchy. I like that. I can actually hear the bass in the mix. I can hear the attacks. I can hear the fullness from the bass. Drumming sounds solid. Everything he's playing is fitting the context of the song. Fills sound good. The style sounds good. Everything across the board instrumentally sounds really good. Okay, absolutely. I don't want to take anything away from them. Having said that, though, and I really hate to do this, but there is a very clear separation between the instrumentalist and the vocalist. She is, I hate to say it, she is the star of the show. She absolutely is. Her vocal style, it's diverse. I love the fact that in the verses and even in the pre-chorus, she stayed in that lower register. Not trying to show off her vocal abilities, not trying to show off her range, not trying to show off her power and her projection. Instead, focusing on delivery and focusing on style and focusing on adding a sultriness to her vocal performance that you don't always get from female vocalists. You just don't always get it. Quite often, you're going to get stuck with vocalists who are more focused on their technique and their technical prowess and their range and their pitch. And listen, is there anything wrong with that? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Not at all. But that's what we usually get when we have a female vocalist. Not in this case. She's keeping it down low in the lower register. She's keeping it nice and soft delivery. Not quite wispy. There's still power there. There's still projection there. You can hear the support, but a definite intentional breathiness a little bit and adding to that sultriness. And I like that approach. I really do. And then, of course, when the chorus kicks in, now it comes the pitch. Now it comes the range. Now it comes the projection and the power. So it's a nice differential. It's really cool. She is absolutely stealing the show. Now, normally I'm not a big fan of that. Usually I'm all for equality. I believe that the bass player is just as important as the guitar player, who's just as important as the drummer, who's just as important as the vocalist, who's just as important as the keyboardist. I believe usually in equality. In this case, though, I gotta say that separation works. It does work. Having her be the star of the show, it's working. Would it work as well if everybody was equal? If everybody was having the spotlight on them equally? I gotta be honest with you, folks, I don't think it would. I think it would, I hate to say it, but I think it would start to sound a little generic if that were the case. So I like what they're doing. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I like that separation. Let's keep going. Let's see if it continues.
Take my heart and crush it and break it apart. Got no more respect for you. I am rejecting your love. Take from me all of my hopes and my dreams, and make me regret all the trust that I had for you, love. I'll let you bleed until you break, die before you wake, take your heart away, never knowing why you fight it all, why you never fall, why you're holding on until you break, until you break.
I like that little bit of gravel. I've got a bridge. That halftime feel on the bridge is nice. I had a feeling we were going to have a guitar solo. That bridge was really kind of building up to something. I'm like, it's either going to be a guitar solo or we're going to come right back into the pre-chorus. Looks like we're getting a guitar solo. At the end of the chorus, she did this the first time too, the first and second chorus, she had that last line where she sustained and she intentionally added a little bit of gravel. I like it. It makes it stand apart. Again, showing off some diversity, showing off that, yeah, she can sing clean. We heard her sing clean up in that same register. And then she goes up, she comes down a little bit for that last note, and then she adds the little bit of gravel to it. I like it. I like it. It adds a little bit of an edge to what would have otherwise been a very soft ending, a very sweet ending, if she had just sustained to that note. And I don't think it would have worked as well. Having that grit and gravel in there was a nice touch. Okay, guitar solo. Let's see what we got. That ending, da-da-da, I like that. With the 16th notes, da-da-da, da-da-da, very nice. Solid, strong ending. If I'm being honest, folks, there's really not a whole lot for me to say in the review that I haven't already said during the reaction. So we may have a pretty short review here. I don't know. We'll have to kind of wait and see where the winds take us. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was End of the Dream with a tune called Until You Break. This was a request from Amarantus. Okay, I already said pretty much everything I need to say during the course of the reaction, so I'm going to just seriously hit a couple of bullet points, and we're going to call it a day. And that's not a slight against the band. That's just, I know a lot of people complain about my videos being way too long, and I agree with them to some extent, man. I know there are some times that I'll go back and rewatch some of the videos, and I'm like, yeah, I could have cut. I could have kept the talking down to quite a bit. But you know how I go, though. You know, sometimes I go off on a tangent. Next thing you know, we're 20 minutes in. So I'm gonna try to keep it short and sweet, but then again, you just never know with me. Let's start off with the score first, though. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that an 8.3. Yep, 8.3. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, an 8.3. What does that mean? Well, an 8.3 would translate to a great scale rating, so I think this was a great song overall. It would also get 4 out of 5 stars and an A- letter grade. So there you go, an 8.3, great scale rating, 4 out of 5 stars, and an A- letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. Okay, like I said during the reaction, I like to keep things even across the board when it comes to giving credit and giving everybody in the band their time to shine. But I gotta be honest with you folks, this band really kind of gave me a sense of a very clear division between the instrumentalists and the vocalists. There is a very clear difference, a very clear division. As such, I'm gonna pretty much lump all the instrumentalists into one thing. I think the instrumentalists were really good, and I mean, I don't just mean really good. I mean really good. Like just on the instrumentation alone, I would be putting the instrumentalists up at like about 7.8, 7.9, somewhere in there. I think everybody across the board, musicianship-wise, did a fine job. Guitars sounded nice, thick, crunchy tone, but still with a clear and defined attack. So when they would do their subdivision work and they would do their syncopated subdivision work, it was clear, it was clean. You could hear every attack start and finish. So I got no issue with anything they were doing. Everything was clean across the board as far as their playing goes. The guitar solo was really nice, short, sweet, and to the point. With a band like this, I have a feeling that's going to be kind of a recurring theme. I don't see this band doing extended guitar solos. Then again, in a live setting, I could be wrong about that, but for a song like this, you don't need a long guitar solo. You just really don't. I'm glad they had one, but they kept it short and sweet, which was really nice. The bass, I could hear the bass in the mix. I could hear the attack, and I could hear the resonance. I could hear the fullness, but I couldn't always hear the pitch. I couldn't always hear the note. But that's okay. I could still, at least I could hear the attack, and I got the resonance, the full sounding reverberation from the bass. So that was nice. The drumming, solid, absolutely solid. I wouldn't change a thing on the drumming. The fills were nice when he would fill. Transitioning from phrase to phrase was always well done. The patterns he would come up with, whether we were in straight time, half time, double time, they all made sense. It all felt good. Going into the halftime on the bridge, I think that was a really smart move, really helped kind of transition and making it very clear that this is a separate part. So I got no issue with that whatsoever. Across the board, everybody did a really nice job, a really good job, a very high, really good job. Now let's talk about the vocals. As I said during the reaction, I like her approach. In the lower register on the verses, I like that, giving it that sultriness that you don't always hear from female vocalists because they're too focused on being technically proud. They want to show off their technical prowess and their ability and their range. And is there anything wrong with that? No, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's perfectly fine. But I like having this little bit of a difference. It's a nice change of pace. So and she did it well. Adding that little bit of intentional breathiness to it was really nice. When she did go up, she went up cleanly. Her pitch was nice. It was spot on. Granted, this is a studio recording, and I know Pro Tools comes into play, but there are some things that Pro Tools cannot fix. Pro Tools cannot fix tone. Pro Tools cannot fix enunciation. Pro Tools cannot fix power and projection. They can increase volume, but there's a big difference between increasing volume and having power. There's a big difference. And she had them all in spades. She really did. It was a very nice job. When she would go up into the chorus, she surprised me. I wasn't ready for this. At the end of the chorus, she went up in the higher register, and on that last note that she was sustained, she added intentionally, she added a little bit of gravel. That was a nice touch. I was not expecting it, and it sounded really good. Very well done. Not overly done. Just enough to give it some edge, and I absolutely liked it. I think she did a great job, which is why we're ending up at the great score of 8.3. The last thing, I didn't touch on this during her reaction. I kept wanting to. I had two opportunities, and I forgot both times to mention it. Her harmonizations. Now, granted, nobody's gonna harmonize with you like you. You know, when you're in a studio, if you're gonna be the lead vocalist, it's always best if you do your own harmonies. It really is, because no one's gonna harmonize and blend with you quite like you. So I understand that, but even having said that, her notational selection for her harmonies were very well done and very well executed. I would love to hear this in a live performance. I would, because I'd be really curious to know how the harmonies would be done. Would it be track? More than likely. That's going to make her life even tougher, because when you're harmonizing with track, you have got to be spot on. Why? Because your track is going to be perfect. Your backing track is going to be absolutely perfect. No one's going to put a sloppy backing track into the mixer. That's just not going to happen. So if you start harmonizing with your backing track and somebody's out of key, Well, I guarantee you it's not going to be the backing track, so it must be the lead vocalist at that point. So it'd be really interesting to see how they would do this in a live setting. I'm willing to bet trackage would be used for the backing track for the harmonization, and I'd be really curious to see how well she could pull it off in a live setting. My guess is she probably pulls it off really well, so it'd be interesting to see in a live setting. But as it stands right now for the studio recording of this song, I'm giving it an 8.3. I feel good about that score, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have an 8.3, which is a great scale rating, 4 to 5 stars, and an A- letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.